Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to go a little bit further than just home decor, and I want to chat a little bit about um, the why it's important to be intentional about the spaces that we create in our homes. This is going to go definitely beyond just making a space pretty, but also not just making a space functional in a practical sense, but also making a space work for the family when it comes to the emotional well-being of everybody in the house, when it comes to a person feeling safe, when it comes to a person feeling supported. All of those things, I think, truly do matter when it comes to preparing a home for the people that live in it. So when I was younger, I did not realize it at the time, and which I don't think many of us do. But when I got older, got into home decor, started working on building my family with my husband, and having children, continuing education, all while I'm working a full-time job, raising little babies. Um, I realized early on just how much my surroundings affected me. I realized just how much it meant to have a space where everything had a place, where it was less cluttered. I realized early on that whenever I was in the midst of clutter, all of this felt cluttered. My mental was felt chaotic. And when I felt like that internally, what came out of me was not always the best for my family. Not saying I was a bad person or anything, but there are probably times where I could have been a little bit more present. There are probably things where I could have been a little bit more calmer about. So I really want to dive into this because I do think it is a topic that isn't talked about enough when it comes to home decor. And, I'm going to say this: when I was a young girl, and I shared this with my husband, I later on in life, I shared it with him, but when I was a little girl, I remember one of my prayers was that I always wanted to have a beautiful family, a beautiful home, good children, all of these things. That was a prayer of mine as a little girl. And I prayed that prayer for a very long time. So, in essence, I always had this thing within me where I, wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be a wife, and I wanted to be not a little Susie homemaker, but I wanted to be able to um, give the people that I love. I wanted to be able to create this space for them where we all were able to, just feel love. And I wanted that type of environment. So, anyways, I didn't realize until I got a lot older that where I am today, that is what that meant. So, anyway, I'm sharing all that because I know that if I thought like that at one point in time, I know that there are other people out there who probably have thought the same way. And even people who are already into that phase of life where they've already created families years ago, but they're at a place now where they're wanting to, make this shift and be a little bit more intentional about their spaces. We all have different phases of life. We reach different points in our lives at different times. And so, if this is for you, I hope you do enjoy the video. And then I hope you'll share it with someone that you think this could be beneficial for too. But I'm going to say, I think for, a younger person who's getting ready to start their family, I do think that this is a critical piece when you're getting ready to, start a family, or when you're getting ready to start building and creating that home environment, because I am a true believer in it all starts at home. So now I want to chat a little bit about why I chose this particular sectional. I want to talk about the seating area in here because I do think seating is really, it's almost right there at the top of what it would be good to be intentional about when you're putting together a space that you hope to encourage family time. You hope that would be comfortable for everybody, because when you create a space that encourages bonding, family bonding, a space that's super comfortable, a space where people feel like they can relax. It opens people up a little bit more to where they may feel more comfortable with sharing more, talking more, having conversations more about, their day or things that they enjoy. I have always let my husband take the lead on the sofas because he is very much so into they have to feel a certain way. I love a good sofa, but I think he is even more particular about those than I am. So I've always let him take the lead on that. This is a pretty large sectional. It's a right angle and curves, having a curved sofa, it just didn't feel 100% good in here for me. I don't know if that sounds strange or not, but having a curved sectional, I realized that I like lines more. The Mr. realized as we continue to grow in life that he liked lines more as well. So I do think that that should also be something that people have to think about when they're getting ready to pick out their furniture pieces. What is it that you like more? If I had a rounded out coffee table, I wouldn't like it. I used to have a oval coffee table. I didn't like it. I used to have an oval dining room table. The popular cherry wood pieces back in the day. I used to have one of those, brand new, but I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it and I thought it was really nice, but it just didn't sit 100% well with me. So I realized later on we liked lines more. So this sofa is a right angle sofa. I can't remember the exact measurements, but I am going to measure it and I'm going to put that in there. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this I'm going to get the tape measure and I'll measure it right now. So this is my junk drawer. Um, I'm gonna skip a little bit. So I do believe in having a drawer or having an area where you can put all of your little knickknacks. So this is my junk drawer. You see, I just pulled the tape measure out of there. But I also have little things in there like these are some candles that I bought. I actually bought them for this space. I never put them out because I ended up liking the greens and the tans a little bit better. Some packing tape, which some quick tape is always good, but mostly my candles, some scissors, some of those, what do you call them? The things the hooks, the command hooks, those things like that I have in that drawer. So I do believe in having a junk drawer. Let me fluff those pillows back because we were sitting there last night. So I didn't do any extra cleaning up or anything before I did this. I just wanted to hop on really quick and do the video. So I'm going to measure the back half of this sofa. So I'm going to measure the back half of this sofa here and let you guys know. Let me put that down because that probably was a lot of noise there. So I'm going to sit this down. We're going to measure here just how far this is. Oh, boo. Get your life. Okay. 9 feet. Okay. Wow. Huge. Okay, you guys. Wow. I'm shocked myself because I forgot that it was that big. This sofa is actually 9 feet long this way and 9 feet long that way. So that is a huge sofa. It is a huge sofa, but I do love it because I love that everybody just sinks into it when we are all watching a movie or something like that, watching a show. Everybody just kind of sinks into it. I'm not very anal about it when it comes to putting your feet on it. Yes, I do believe in taking care of my things, but it feels like that piece that is meant to be lounged on. So I think seating wise, it is super important to if you are able to do that. We haven't always had a sofa like this, but when we got to a certain place on our adulthood journey, we ended up switching out and we got, this sofa. And I think it worked well for the kids. It works well for us, and it still does. We've had it for almost a decade now. When it comes to seating, I did bring in these swivel chairs. I think swivel chairs are here to stay. I don't think they're going anywhere. They hit the scene strong, and they just provide so much function. And, they're you can get them in a number of different colors, a number of different shapes, sizes. And I think they're amazing. And I think they're here to stay, not just trending. I think they're here to stay because they offer a 360-degree function that allows you to really feel like you can engage all the way around the room easily. But going back to how they make people feel within the space, it really does, I think, encourage communication. It encourages interaction and participation with everybody in the space. I think because it makes that easier for everybody, not just comfort, but it also makes that easier for everybody. So, with these sitting right here, you don't really have to do a whole turn with these, but I have other chairs, swivels sitting in places where that is why they are there. So they can provide ease of interacting from one space to the other space. When we are talking about interacting, participating, and going back to that whole "it all starts at home." So I was looking at a video today, came across my YouTube. I was just scrolling and came across this video where there were tons and tons of teachers. All of them were saying they didn't know how long they could do it anymore. There were some of them talking about, leaving the industry. There are, from what I've heard, a lot of teachers that have already left the industry because the kids today are just at a different point than where we were, probably kids before us. A lot of them are saying that, the kids are, it's rough. It's very rough today. And again, I think it all starts at home. Um, and I will be the first to say, creating an environment and creating a space where there's safety that could be felt in the home easily, there's love that could be felt in the home easily, there's support that could be felt in the home easily. Creating spaces like that, I think, are vital, vital to a person's development as they are, coming up in life. Even when we become adults, I do think that even if we are a calmer person, if we find ourselves in a environment that doesn't offer that type of peace or cleanliness, or doesn't foster relationships and bonding, I think that it could shift the way that, even us, I think that it could shift the way that we are. I think it could shift the way that we feel, the way that we think, how we react to things. So I think it is very, very important. And, I think seating, the type of seating that you use, and then also the seating arrangement are very important when it comes to that. Now, moving on to these ottoman pieces here. So these are great. Sometimes we come in here and flick on the TV and we just pop a seat right here on one of these. Or sometimes I'll take it and I'll pull it over to the swivel chair and I prop my feet up on it when I'm watching TV or just sitting in conversation. So I love that. It definitely gives a number of options to the space, and it's not something that's just in here to look pretty. So I'm all for stuff like that. I like putting out books on the coffee table that give people, if we have visitors that come, that's something that they could easily pick up and look at. These are books that you find, well, except for the RH book here, but the others are magazines and books that you find in the checkout line at the grocery store, at Target, wherever. But they're home decor magazines or just magazines about destinations, like this one over here. This one is Destination Living, and I think it's good info for, people who are looking for places where they could either get a second home, move to, or vacation to. And so you can just switch those things out like that. But I like to keep books like that on the table, not necessarily books that look like I don't want to touch the book. Um, and then I also like to keep books out that are interesting. Like I have a Tina Turner book. Um, And I think there's a lot of stuff in the book as far as like the drawings, the art, the quotes, and the sayings in there that I think are very interesting. And I bring that book out from time to time. But having some neat books on the table where people, if they're just sitting in here waiting, or if they're not necessarily engaged in the conversation that two other people, three other people, four other people might be in, still being a part of the space and having something that they can kind of dive into instead of holding their phone in their face is, I think, good. So I do want to touch on this carpet here as well. This carpet is from a company called FLOR, and this was in collaboration with them. And I have to tell y'all, this is one of the most amazing, amazing, amazing carpet pieces I have ever had. It comes in a bunch of squares. I'm going to see if I can pull my video from my Instagram and I'll just put it in here, like, I don't know, somewhere here. And so you guys can see what it looked like before it went down. Um, yes, I love a good one big area rug, but this one right here, we could have got so creative and not just did like a big rectangle like shape. We could have done like a cross shape. We could have done a diamond shape. There's so many things that we could have done. But what I love about it is made from sustainable materials, and if we were to get rid of this, they would just recycle it. So I love that about it. Um, and I love what the company itself represents. So I'm going to put the link to the company in here as well so you guys can go and take a look at their stuff. But I think having intentional and meaningful things in the house helps as well. I want to show you guys this sign that I just got because we just came back from Hawaii. We kind of went on this spur of the moment trip, so to speak, and um, spent a couple days over there, had an amazing time with the family. And so I wanted to bring something back this time because I was really wanting. We used to live in Hawaii a long time ago, and I didn't really like bring things back like this, but I really wanted something that I could bring back and put in the house that would have some type of meaning to me because I'm going to tell you when we stepped off the plane over there, it also felt like another home to me. I don't know if it's because we lived there before. I won't even say that because I lived in other places and they don't feel like home to me. So Hawaii is another place that really felt like home. But I think it's also a place that truly embodies what the ohana means. So I saw this. I love this whole surfboard idea, y'all. I wanted to bring back a whole surfboard, but I couldn't bring it back. I couldn't get that on the plane. So we went over there for a short time. And so we just had carry on luggage, number one. So we weren't trying to come back with a whole lot of stuff, but I loved it. And I immediately said, I know where I'm going to put this, even though, some people would probably say that's not really the best place to put it. I'm going to put it there because if I'm not big on anything else, I am big on family. It really does truly mean a lot to me. And I don't take my role as mom, the wife, the nurturer in the family, the homemaker in the family, even though I still work a 9 to 5, I still hustle. I don't take my job being all of those other things lightly. These are the other swivel chairs that I was talking about over there. You guys have seen them a lot because they're in almost every one of my videos when I'm talking about my seasonal changes. But having these chairs right here, we have the kitchen on that side, we have the dinner table right here behind them, and then we have the family room area all the way on the other end. But having this particular type of seating is not just that functional piece in a practical sense, but it's also one that definitely encourages people being able to feel included, people having that ease of being able to communicate with one another. So they face the kitchen here. When we had family here for the mini family reunion that we hosted, we had about 14 people in this house, and 99% of them 99.8% of them were adults. So we would have, there'd be somebody sitting here while there's somebody in the kitchen cooking, there would be people sitting over here. And so the people that were sitting in these chairs, whoever chose to sit here, they had that ease with this 360-degree turn. This chair turns all the way around. So being able to communicate with both sides easily. This has probably been one of the better setups I think I have had in here, because I really enjoyed having seeing someone sit here and being able to easily communicate while I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner. My husband, he actually sits here a lot as well. For him and I, if it's just an easy wind down for the day, we might sit here. In the early mornings, if I'm on a Saturday, if I'm coming down and it's quiet, it's super early, and I just want to read a little bit of word, catch me some warm coffee, I'm sitting right here doing that, and it feels right. So we have the door here, the glass door, so you get to see outside and see some of the greenery out there. Sometimes I'll open that sliding door and you can hear the birds chirping in the morning. You can hear the trees rustling in the wind. And so all of those things I think play on the senses. I did put a little small lamp here to give like some soft ambient lighting later in the evening. And I just think it gives this really sweet um, ambiance that just makes it that much nicer. So the things that we've really talked about are pretty much the seating, and I think how important the things that we put in our home, starting with the arrangement of the seating that we add, and then going a little bit further, the type and the style and the level of comfort that each of those things offer. Before I let you guys go, I went to go grab my iPad because I wanted to show you how easy it is to work with these lights around the television here. So we ended up adding them to the dining room as well. So there is an app that I have on here. Um, so there's an app that I have on my iPad, which you can also put this on your phone as well. And we have the different rooms set up where you this would be considered the family room. And so around the TV, we're going to go here and open that up, and then we're going to look at the color wheel. And so if you watch around here, this is going to change. So we also have a strip on the bottom as well, but I'm going to change it just so you can see. You see that? Okay. Oopsie. Look at how that changes, right? So you can go strong, closer to the reds. I'm going to do that for now. And then we're going to go back up and go to the strip, which would be this underneath here, and we'll change that. So there's so many different things that you can do with this as well. I'm going to go this way. I think that's kind of close. So you can go light, dark. You can change it to where the lights are going constantly around as a same color. You can change it to where it's doing a different color. You can change it to where it has the festive look to it. So many different things. But I think that lights are a great addition to any space. So I said I was going to put them in the description box to my last video. I realized I did not do that. I don't think I did. So I'm going to put them in the description box here. But I think lights are a great, great, great addition to any space. It just depends on the color that you're going to be using. I think they are incredible when it comes to helping to give the space, a certain type of ambiance. Um, and I love them. All right, guys. So that is what I wanted to share today. I really wanted to put some emphasis on how our decorating of our homes can really have an impact on who we are. I know we cannot control everything in our home, but we can definitely have a major influence on who we are as people, on how well we're able to communicate when we go outside the home, how well we're able to regulate our emotions, how well we're able to connect with other individuals. I think all of those things are really important. And I know people feel like it's such a cliche saying to say it all starts at home, but the truth of the matter is, it really does all start at home. So I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you know somebody else who may enjoy this content, I hope that you will share it with them. Again, if you've enjoyed it, I hope that you will hit the like button, subscribe, and share with others so that they may find me here in the community. Thanks again for watching, you guys.